Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining us. And today we have the lovely Rati Patel with us. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me again. Thank you.
yeah. It's always interesting talking to you, and people find it very educative speaking to you. So, today we have a very interesting topic, friends, which has been troubling us, a lot. And that's we are talking about obesity among the younger generation uh, because of so many reasons. The sedentary activities, video games, playing video games, or just watching television, and also the fact that see, with the coming of Swiggy and Zomato, Ratiji, see, food has become very easily accessible because a lot of
Right.
the parents that I speak to, they say that see, oh, even if you are not at home, it's very easy. My child just orders on Swiggy and it comes home, so I really don't know need to cook food and keep it for them, so it comes hot and good. But the only thing is that these people do not realize is the kind of hidden sugars and fats that are there
Right.
in the food, because usually they think that see, if it's a burger, there is no sugar in it, and these hidden sugars are the biggest enemies that they do not realize. And
Right.
friends, what I also saw recently in a video, Ratiji, is that among the in the world, you know, the Samoans who are from Polynesia, the tribe people, they are the the most what you call fattest people in the world. Okay, and the reason being that you'll find the same people like Maoris, they're all a part of the same,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Maoris and all. So the when I was just looking through the video, Ratiji, see what I found was that see what people like countries like New Zealand or Australia discard, which is meat with a lot of fat, which they normally give it to the dogs, is
Right.
something that they eat a lot. So which means they are eating a lot of fat and they're drinking a lot of soda. See, we think that soda, soda or fruit juices don't have much calories, but they're laden with, calories and sugar. So these are some of the things that they're habituated to. So
Right.
now it's over to Ratiji to tell us what is, troubling our nation and what we should be doing, to, make sure that our next generation is healthy.
Yeah. So, right, you rightly pointed out, the junk food, which is so easily accessible. The marketing that these companies do, where the children are getting attracted to have that food. And also, since now most of the time both the parents are working,
Hmm.
home cooked food has become very less. It
Yes.
is more about ordering the food from outside and having outside food.
Yeah.
What is happening, see, this is what we are seeing, the physical symptoms, that they are the reasons for obesity in children. One very important factor that we miss out is the emotional factor or the metaphysical factor.
Yes.
When there is an emotional eating is when the child is feeling deprived of something, so
Yeah.
the child is substituting that with food. Beginning it was joint family, so a lot of people staying together, a lot of people giving attention to the child.
Yeah.
Now most of the times the child is left in a daycare center when the child is a small baby, and as it starts growing he is missing that warmth, that love, and that care, which is a very very important factor in overeating,
Yeah.
because we are substituting food. you know Food is the feel good factor then,
Yeah.
and without realizing the child eating because it is substituting it with the love and warmth, the food. So that is also playing a very important role, the emotional,
Yeah.
the emotions which are not satisfied in a child, the emotional needs of the child are not satisfied.
Yeah.
That is also a time when there is emotional eating and obesity is seen,
Yeah.
in children.
Mm. So also,
uh,
also what I
yeah.
noticed, Ratiji, is that see,
Yes.
among a lot of families who are very well-to-do,
Hmm.
and they have, maids who can cook food for them. They make very healthy food at home.
Hmm.
But the children have made it a habit to order food because they're seeing it all the time in ads. They're seeing it
Yes.
all the time among their peers. And they feel that, see, whatever dal, chawal, or roti is being made at home is not fashionable. So
Right.
they feel, one with other children, thinking that burger and pizza and all that make them
Yes.
fashionable.
Right. Because see, again here also, there is kind of peer pressure
Hmm,
when the children are taking their maybe tiffins,
hmm,
or when they're talking in schools. If somebody is telling that every second day they're having pizza and burger and fancy foods, and the child is having home cooked food, the child is definitely going to go and tell the mom that
yeah.
you're only giving me this dal chawal and all. See my other friends, what are they having?
Hmm,
So yes, this also plays a major part.
hmm,
Again, over here, when the child is growing up, friends, circle. So because the outside food is so easily accessible, since both the parents are earning, money is not a factor.
yeah.
So the children's demands are very easily satisfied. Because
Yeah.
again, over here, one more thing that plays a part is the guilt of parents.
Yeah.
That time we are not able to give
Hmm,
to the child. So money wise, let us at least fulfill his desires.
hmm,
So if the child is demanding something, let us give it.
hmm,
Where they are ignoring the fact that this in long term is going to harm the child's health.
yeah.
So even the guilt of parents is playing a part in this.
Yeah.
That okay, we are not able to spend time, so my child is asking me for something, let me give it. I can afford it, so I give it.
Yeah. I remember,
And soon
Ratiji,
it
see.
becomes a habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I,
these
I
drinks and
remember.
all, high
Yeah.
sugar and everything, so they become addictive. Then you want coke every
Yeah.
second day, or with every meal you want that coke, or you
Yeah.
want some of
It's
your
like a
soft
kick.
drink with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I remember, Ratiji, see, when we were small, we were young children. I remember my mother used to wake up very early and she would pack our tiffins, and for school. And once we went
Yes.
to school, we would all sit together, friends would sit together, and it would be all such a variety. One would be upma, one would be puri
Yes.
sabji, and one would be dosha, and everybody used to share each other's food.
True.
But today, if you see, children are being given money and said that, see, you buy it from your, canteen,
Canteen.
yeah, or from whichever
Hmm.
they have, school they have, or this thing. So what happens is that, see, we've broken, without telling them at all, the nutritional value of all the food has come down to almost zero.
Right. So that is what na nutritious food is not there. Lifestyle has become so sedentary because of the video games and everything. Before, children used to go out and play.
Yeah,
Now they are sitting in one place for hours and hours.
yeah,
And parents are finding it convenient. Till they
mm,
don't get into their way, it is fine.
yeah,
Either they are outside the house, going to their tuitions, their
yeah,
schools, or whatever activity classes they go. Otherwise, when they are at home, even for parents, it becomes very convenient
yeah.
that
So
they
what
are
do you
sitting in
what do
one
you
place, they are
suggest to the
engaged.
parents? Hmm,
I see, basically, I would suggest that spend time with your children.
hmm,
They need your attention, they need your love and care. So, even if you're coming late from office,
hmm,
that cooking part, do it afterwards. But
yeah.
first, sit with your
Yes,
child,
exactly.
spend some time with your child, maybe 10-15 minutes. We are not talking about hours over here because we know everybody's life has become so hectic.
Hmm,
But that emotional bond is
hmm,
what the child misses,
hmm,
and that emotional bond, that child is now trying to take it through food,
hmm.
because food is comfort.
Yeah.
How a mother's love is comfort, the same way the food is comfort. So that is what is happening. So I would suggest that parents need to spend time with their child,
Mm,
and when their child is eating, there should be no screen time.
mm.
Otherwise it is multitasking
Yeah.
during the dinner time, or when the child is eating watching the television, whether it is their serial or games or whatever. So again, you're going on eating, you're not realizing when your
Absolutely.
stomach is
Mm,
full.
mm,
So, mindful eating, that the parents have to see that the child is doing mindful eating.
mm,
Child is not sharing the meal time with the screen time.
mm,
So, like that, they can have family time also
mm,
when they are sitting down for their meals, where they are laughing, talking. That bonding is also happening. And at the same time, there is mindful eating because the child knows when my
mm,
stomach is full.
mm.
When you're watching something and you're multitasking with eating, we always tend to overeat.
Yeah.
Then what means our actual diet? More than that,
Yeah.
we have. So, for the parents, very important to spend time with their children. and to see that they are eating mindfully.
yeah.
Another thing, if the child is already
Mm,
obese, then the parents, what they can do is tell the child to chew the food,
mm,
at
mm,
least one morsel 32 times,
mm,
because then that also becomes mindful eating.
mm,
When you're chewing for so much, such a long time, your stomach, you understand when you are satisfied and your stomach is full.
mm,
Otherwise, you are eating in that hurry, you want to run around, do this. That is the time when we tend to overeat.
yeah.
And
Oh,
emotional needs of the child, very, very, very important.
mm,
Because even sometimes what happens, what I have noticed, it even after they are doing certain exercises or the diet has come down, but the weight doesn't reduce. That
mm,
happens when there is an emotional, your needs are not fulfilled. The
mm,
child feels insecure.
mm,
When the child is insecure,
mm,
unconsciously or subconsciously, fat starts depositing, as a mode of, protection.
yeah.
More and more fats get deposited in the body when we feel insecure.
Mm,
So to take out that insecurity in the child, and that can only happen when the mother, father is spending time with the child.
yeah. Also, perhaps, Ratiji, see the mother or the parent. I mean, nowadays it's both parents. They can also plan their time by, on weekends, they can plan what they need to make for the whole week, so that
Right.
they can spend more time with the child. And
Absolutely.
also, yeah, and also explain to children, see, what are the, the qualities of what they eat. Because, see, I've read that many schools where they
Hmm.
have some dynamic headmistresses or
Hmm.
headmasters, what
Right.
happens is they inculcate a different kind of eating pattern where children themselves become very proud, and they show
Hmm.
off their apple and their salads and their
Yes.
whatever, and
Yes.
say that, see, we are eating this, and which is
Right.
healthy. If you ask them water or soda, they'll say, of course it's water. So these
Hmm.
things also matter a lot. So do you
Right.
think, Radiji, that, see, in schools education, that, see, sugar is a necessary, it's a unnecessary evil, and it should be reduced,
Right.
is something that they should be taught right from the beginning?
Yes, yes. See, everything starts from home and school as the child is
Mm,
growing up. So, if at
mm,
home the parents are taking care of it, then once the child goes out, it is the responsibility of the school. Because
yeah.
even in school, the teacher will herself tell you there are so many people,
Mm,
children who are
mm,
experiencing this, and because of that, they are having health issues.
mm,
So yes, definitely. And some schools,
mm,
like you rightly pointed out, are already following the, their meal plan or diet plan, but it is not happening in all the schools. And some
yes,
every all
yes,
the schools are again not providing food also.
yeah,
So with the schools
exactly,
which are not providing the food, they can give, the
mm,
knowledge to the children,
yes.
or make it compulsory that the child has to get in the tiffin something which is nutritious and healthy,
And also somehow,
not chips
see, what I feel,
and
maybe it
something,
is, yeah, yeah, what I feel is that, see, maybe it may seem irrelevant to others, but when you take a packet of cigarettes, you have, it's dangerous for health.
right.
Similarly, anything that they eat which is sweet, they should
Hmm.
have a warning saying that, see, eating too much sugar can lead to
Yes.
cancer and other things, so
Right.
frighten the children a bit, so that,
Right.
or not only children, I mean, we're talking about adults as
Yes.
well, because
Yes.
all the supermarkets are laden with donuts and all the sweets that you want, so, and that is the area where people rush to, to
Right.
stock these things.
Correct.
Yeah. So do you think, Rati, that
Hmm.
the government should take strong steps to
Yes, of
educate
course,
people?
because
Mm,
yes, yes, because see, what is happening is the way the trend is going in children, obesity of children.
mm,
When we were growing up, we never saw obese children.
mm,
Now
mm.
you see obese dogs also we see now,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yes,
So
yeah,
that obesity is increasing, and it is all because of the food that we are taking out from the
yeah,
counter shelf.
mm,
So definitely there has to be certain guidelines.
yeah,
Whoever are preparing, the companies who are manufacturing, even after they put their ad, they should say that too much of this is injurious to
yeah,
your health, or it
yeah.
can lead to this.
Mm.
So yes, definitely there should be
See,
some
because,
guidelines
yeah,
which should the government should put into practice.
yeah,
Definitely.
because there are a lot of professors what is saying that, see, as little sugar as possible is the best thing. But what happens is when it comes to manufacturers, they do not care about all these factors, and what they do is in the advertising area, in the all these posters and all, they make the food so appetizing and so delicious looking that nobody can resist it. And what happens is all the hidden sugar and fat and all that goes into your body without your realizing it. So there's a big
True.
conflict between what is health, the people who are caretakers of the health, the same department, and people who are trying to sell all these sweet laden or fat laden
See,
food.
it is all about money.
Mm.
It is all
Yes.
money making, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody is together in this.
Yes,
Everybody wants
exactly.
to make money.
Exactly.
So whether what
Absolutely.
your health is getting affected or not, nobody's bothered.
Yeah, absolutely.
So only people, we have to be, become responsible for our children.
Yeah.
We have to now take, till the government doesn't do anything, we have to see that that child is leading a healthy lifestyle, is eating healthy food. So even if I have to go for a job, I see to it my child gets nutritious food. Because we also are in so much of rush that we think, okay, that is shortcut.
Yeah.
I give that child also likes. It is easier for me also,
Yeah.
not time consuming also. So we also at adults have to take that first responsibility, for our children.
Yeah.
That this
Exactly.
is it, because see, most of the weekends families go out and have junk food.
Mm.
Even if the whole week you're not having, the weekends are reserved for that.
Yeah.
And for some families, it is every day. The
Yeah.
child is sitting and eating chips. The
Yeah.
child is sitting and eating something other
Mindlessly.
thing,
Yeah.
having,
Without
yes,
thinking.
all
Yes.
mindless eating, which is the major
And also, see,
factor.
in the morning, if you don't have the time to make dosha or idli, instead of cornflakes, give them oats. Because, see, oats is much more nutritious than cornflakes, which is full of sugar. And people always say that don't buy cornflakes, don't keep cornflakes. Instead, you have steel cut oats, which may take a little time in cooking, but that is the most nutritious breakfast that you can have in the morning. So we can actually change the way our family
Yes,
eats.
yes. See,
Yeah,
that's what I told.
also,
Everything starts with us. We become
absolutely.
conscious and we take the first step, and everything starts
Mm,
changing.
mm, mm,
Right from
mm.
taking care of the child's emotional needs to the child's, physical needs.
Yeah.
We need to become responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. So when questions were asked to people who actually the what you call the lab people who make
Hmm.
these foods, whichever sweet sauce. So why do you put in so much sugar? Who is the one who decides all this? So then the lab people say that, see, the brand comes to us, and they tell us
True.
they want these ingredients, and whenever they want to fill it up, they fill it up with sugar because sugar is the cheapest material. So
And
without,
it is addictive also.
yes,
It gives you a high
exactly,
also.
exactly. And without realizing it, you're actually already creating a bomb, for people, without, thinking. So you have added all your other qualities and all that, and 60% of it is sugar. Then what happens? The child doesn't know it, the mother doesn't know it, and you're just, spoiling a whole generation through your, what you call, exactly for money, as you say, it's a business, and to promote your product, and to make it appetizing so that you are better than, see, for example, M&Ms is better than, Cadbury's, or Cadbury's is better than Kellogg's. So this sort of battle is on and on. See, one thing I've noticed, Ratiji, is that in Bangalore, people have become very health conscious, and they go for their morning walks, evening walks, and their children are also eating very healthy food. As in, because now the reason why I say this is because the sale of fresh vegetables coming from farms and fresh fruits is on the rise, and these people come and deliver these things at home. So it has become, of course, it's a, a point of fashionable talk as well, that you are on salads. But the thing is that, see, there is definitely a change happening in Bangalore. So I wish this would happen all over India, especially in the urban cities.
See, because see, it is all about how are you behaving. Your child, you will copy that. What are the food habits you are having? Your child
Mm.
will automatically have those. So if you
Yeah.
become health conscious,
Yes.
and you change your lifestyle, automatically
Mm.
the child will change
Yes.
the lifestyle.
Yes. So Chandrika is saying, good evening, Ratiji. I remember in my childhood, we always carried homemade items for tiffins. We were slim and active in sports. Nowadays, I see most of the kids look bloated and fat, says Chandrika.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
another thing
It is
also,
because home cooked food has become
yes,
less.
yes. Also, Ratiji, another thing is that, see, whenever you have food from outside or you order from outside or you eat outside, whenever you return, somehow your stomach doesn't feel the same. Whereas when you eat food from home, it could be chapati, dal, or rice, or whatever, even if it is with ghee and all that, you never feel that way. Somehow your stomach feels bloated and you feel,
Yes.
uncomfortable. What is the reason for that, Rati?
See, that is also because they add soda into the food.
Ah,
That is
absolutely.
why you feel bloated after
Yeah.
having the food when you have in the hotel.
Yes.
Whereas home
Yes.
cooked food is simple
Yeah.
food without anything. Their colors are
Yeah.
added. So all these things, artificial things, are going to take a toll on your health,
Mm.
now or later on.
Yeah. And you also don't know.
See, also, I very strongly believe that whenever you cook, with what intention you're cooking
Mm, mm,
plays a major part.
yeah.
That is why people say that you should chant certain mantras, for health when you're
Mm,
cooking food. And the mother, when she's cooking food, it is for her child or for the family members, it is always out of love. you
yes.
know she
Yes.
wants the best for the child, and she's
Yeah.
doing it.
Mm,
And when the child is having that food, the
mm,
energy of those vibrations are going into the child.
mm,
That also makes a lot of difference. When
yeah.
somebody else is cooking, we don't know in what mindset that person is cooking.
Mm, mm,
So along with the food, what energies we are taking in, that also we don't know. What
yeah.
negativity, if that person is in a very horrible set of mood, or if it's very sad
Mm,
and is cooking the food, we are taking in those energies. We are
yes.
not able to see it. See, physically we are not able to see, but actually we are consuming a lot of things along with the food.
Yeah. And also,
That is why home cooked food is so good.
yeah, and also another deterrent should be the fact that, see, try to make your children understand that the people who are cooking may not always be using hygienic methods. Okay,
Yes.
so there could be other ways also of adding whatever to your food so that you become sick. So that is also another thing. So that in a sense you can frighten your children into thinking that home food is. There are certain tactics you could use. Last year, Ratiji, see, a
Hmm.
Dr. Arjan was saying that
Hmm.
according to the UNICEF's World Obesity Actus,
Hmm.
India is predicted to have more than 27 million obese children, representing 1 in 10 children globally by 2030. Now, it ranks 99th on the list of 183 countries in terms of preparedness to deal with obesity, and the economic impact of overweight and obesity is expected to rise from 23 billion in 2009 to a whopping 479 billion by 2060. So, can you imagine if it is not coming under control? You know, I've seen many children just mindlessly being given lollipops, which they keep on, sucking when the parents are discussing,
See, why that
or
also happens?
eating
Why are they
chips.
given that?
Yeah,
Why are they given that? To engage
yeah,
the child, that
yes,
have it,
yes,
satisfy yourself, do not disturb me.
yes,
And when that happens, that's what I was saying, that when the child's emotional needs are not met,
mm,
one is the child now knows and he's enjoying that.
yeah,
Parents are also happy, the child is happy.
mm,
And this is how slowly the child gets addicted to the junk food.
yes,
And then we say my child doesn't eat healthy food. It
yeah,
is we who have
absolutely,
first done that.
yeah,
Even when the child is small, what does the mother do nowadays? You see, there is some video game on, and the mother is telling the child to watch it, and
even in
she's
the
feeding.
restaurants, even in the restaurants, yeah,
Okay.
mm,
So again, and we Indian mothers try to overfeed the child.
yes,
We don't respect the child, that after four or five morsels, if the child is telling I don't want to eat, then we start using our brain. No, how do I force feed the child now?
yeah,
Right? So we are somewhere, overfeeding the child knows when I want to stop, but we
mm,
as mothers are so much concerned that my child is not eating. This I'm talking when the child is a baby. We tend to overfeed the child, and then we engage the child.
yeah,
Okay, look at this video, and video dekhte dekhte, feed the child, and mother is so happy that full bowl is over. But what is happening? The child is now getting habituated by to watch and eat. So
Yeah,
overeating is now happening. We have
yeah,
given that habit to the child. So the moment the parents become aware, you know, where even if you're very much busy and your child wants your attention, leave everything for few
mm,
minutes and
mm,
give the child the attention, you know.
yeah,
Instead of giving him a packet of chips or telling him, not now, I am busy right now, you watch TV or you eat this. Instead of doing that, if we are giving time to our children and become making the child aware, and we also follow it. See, the
yeah,
children follow us a lot.
yeah,
So if we are maintaining a healthy lifestyle of exercising, eating good food, the child will automatically do it. So it is
yeah.
all starting with us, you know.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
moment we change, the house environment changes.
Changes, yeah. As Lavi is saying, these days in India, children love eating burgers and pizza. In the UK, Indian restaurants are most popular. And Chandrika says, in today's time, a lot of the food outlets have opened up in every nook and corner. It has become a fashion to eat out. Feel sad to see kids buying and consuming cola and Pepsi. And we also have
Yes.
Chandrika saying that TV ads also propagate eating pizza and burger and chips as being modern, you know.
Yes.
And also, Ratiji, see, I remember, see, the good old times, like when my brothers and I, we used to come from school, we used to cycle and come home. And, the moment we stepped home, despite the fact that my mother would be busy with something or
Hmm.
the other,
Hmm.
she would have kept the food hot on the dining table, and it would be something very nutritious. So after that, we would go and play, come back, do our homework. By that time, mother was back, and another, good, nutritious, dinner would be prepared. So it's not because, see, the mother doesn't have other things to do. No, if planned well, the mother can
Hmm.
always, the mother and the father both, I would say,
Yes.
in today's age, both are equally responsible to make sure that the child gets good, balanced food. See, if we can medically tell adults that you need to eat broccoli, you need to eat
Hmm.
this, you need to eat that, avocado and all that, it's also very important to tell children what to eat, because this is
Right.
all full of vitamins, isn't it?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
True.
So do tell our parents, Ratiji, that how they can, in a day, how they can plan things, for their children, whether they are small or teenagers. How they can plan their meals.
See, what the parents can do, I know everybody is very busy nowadays, but if you get up a little bit early, from the scheduled time, get little bit early,
Mm,
prepare simple things. No need to cook anything very, which is taking too much of your time. Simple boiled eggs,
mm,
you know,
mm,
or good glass of milk with protein powder. In the morning, early morning is fine for your child. Introduce your child to seasonal fruits,
mm.
make the child eat fruits, fresh fruit juices, instead of giving the child that Coke and Pepsi. Instead of that,
Absolutely.
fresh fruits
Mm,
and your home cooked meals. It can be simple, no need of lavish that it has to be roti sabzi dal chawal. Even if you're
mm,
giving only roti sabzi, or you can tell your maid, if your child is coming back from school and you're not present at home, you know instead of the child then is hungry when it comes back from school and opening a packet of chips and drinking something, if you instruct your maid to make upma or some garam, hot,
mm, mm,
tiffin or something, where the child is filled, and is having a nutritious thing, diet also, it is fine. Or else the mother can cook something and go,
mm.
which the child after coming back from school can heat it up in the microwave and eat it.
Yeah. Yes.
And yes, then dinner time, whatever you're cooking, your normal basic home, जो हम पहले से खा रहे हैं, nothing, we nothing fancy. Maybe even khichdi, which will
Mm,
not take time.
mm,
That is also nutritious. Instead of ordering food from outside, it takes 20 minutes, half an hour of your time. So we are the ones who have to introduce and plan out that diet well.
absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I've seen
Nothing
some
very
very,
much big, but small, small things, fruits,
yeah,
fresh
yeah,
fruit juices, sprouts, when the child is hungry, or peanuts,
yeah.
dry fruits. Child can sit
So,
and munch dry fruits instead of
yes.
sitting and munching other things.
Yeah. In fact, what I've
So
seen
yes,
in
and introduce the child in the beginning itself,
yeah, yeah.
to good nutritious food.
And
And again I'm telling, spend time with the child, fulfill your child's emotional needs,
mm,
because obesity underlying factors are, like I told, insecurity, fear,
absolutely.
not loving yourself,
Mm,
feeling something is wrong with me.
mm,
So showering the child with lot of love, lot
mm,
of care, lot of affection, whatever time you get,
mm,
spend that time, listen to the child, tell the child story. When your emotional needs will be fulfilled, the child will not feel like overeating.
yeah, absolutely. Also, see, I've seen some very dynamic mums. What they do is, they when they're watching television, or doing something which they enjoy, at the same time they're also planning for the next day's meal by cutting and keeping cucumber ready,
Right, right.
everything, yeah, and
Yes.
segregating everything and putting it in the fridge. Also, another very serious problem, Ratiji, is the fact that, see, these obese children, when they go to school, they become the butt of everybody's jokes.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
another
They are
psychological,
again bullied.
yeah, factor that they have to face when they are in schools.
So, see what that is what I'm telling. The loop is there.
Mm,
First of all, there is some kind of insecurity in the child. Parents are not there. He's not getting that attention. He's overeating. Okay.
mm,
Then
mm,
he's becoming obese. When he goes out, people are bullying him. So again, that feeling is coming. I am not good enough.
mm.
I am not. Everybody makes fun of me. So again, the personality.
Yes,
It is
yes,
affecting the personality of the child also, where
yes.
the child is then becoming either timid,
Mm,
or the child doesn't feel good about himself. When you don't feel good about yourself, you again eat more.
yeah.
You're giving yourself that comfort, with the food.
Mm, mm,
In school somebody bullied me, so when I
mm,
came back, I'm feeling
mm,
so bad, I cannot take out my emotions, there is
mm,
nobody to talk to me.
mm,
I eat again, and the cycle is continuing.
mm,
Very, very important to spend time, give love to your child. I'm telling it again and again, because I get the cases of, where the overweight is there, and after doing everything also, when the weight is not reducing, the first thing we look out for, what is the emotional need that has not been fulfilled.
absolutely. Yeah,
So yes, it plays a very major part. Apart
yeah.
from food and exercise and everything, your emotional needs have to be satisfied of the child.
Yeah. Also, the fact that, see, many of the parents do not actually look at what time the children are sleeping. Many of them sleep late after playing with video games and other such stuff. So what happens is, in the middle of the games, they feel hungry again. So they go to the freezer, they take some ice cream and bring it, or take some biscuits or donuts or whatever. So what happens is, that is another time when they feel extremely
Yes.
hungry, because they're doing some activity, and their mouth is wicked, sort of
Right.
not active. So they feel that they have to have something to keep them completely happy. Food
True.
is just like some sort of a solution to a lot of these
Yes.
problems that these people
See,
face.
what happens is, for food is gives you comfort. We all
Mm,
love it when we have
yeah.
food, right?
Mm,
We all feel good when we have
mm,
food. Okay, so food is that comfort which you are not getting outside.
mm,
You start replacing that with food. So, like you're telling, the sleep pattern or the eating or the exercise, this is all part of your lifestyle.
mm,
So,
mm,
as parents, we have to make that timetable for children, till
mm,
it becomes a habit for them.
mm,
We have to tell them, okay, no, this is your screen time after 9 o'clock, nothing.
mm,
Shut it out.
mm,
And you see to it that your child sleeps.
mm,
So sit with the child, tell that bedtime story, which in olden days the grandmothers or anybody used to do, So you are
mm.
getting that bonding time also, and listening to you, the
Yes.
child sleeps. You can even tell nice mythological religious stories to the child,
Mm,
you know. So you are getting that time, and the child feels that I am, yes, somebody is there for me, that
mm,
security is there. So he's not looking out towards food, as a comfort.
mm.
Food is no more a comfort. Food is to fill the stomach for my
Yeah.
survival. When all these needs are satisfied. So, yes, we have to, as parents, set up a timetable, not go according to the child's wish. Sometimes
Mm,
we have to draw the boundaries, as parents,
mm,
that this is what you will eat, this is the time you will sleep, and this is your timetable, and you will exercise or you will go out and play.
mm,
Now everything is vehicle. See, we used to walk to school or go cycling to school. Now
mm,
there are school buses,
mm.
there are rickshaws. So
Yes.
even that walking doesn't happen. No children come out to play. Everybody is on their phones, even if they are outside. So So that physical activity, you have to engage your child in something, put him the child in some place where there is physical activity for the child. So yes, we as parents only have to take that first step,
Yeah.
draw out a proper timetable, about their, whether it is their exercise, their eating habits, their drinking habits, their, spending the time with child, and the sleep time.
Mm.
Irregular sleep times also tend to,
Also,
we
yeah.
tend to put on fat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Ratiji, see, during in our times, our parents used to plan things. For example, I remember when when we used to go to long trips from Pune to Bombay, my mother would always pack food, as in curd rice with fish and fried fish and a pickle. And whenever we stopped, we would have that and eat whatever she had packed, as lunch.
Hmm.
And whenever we went for picnics, it would all be packed. Everything would be packed so well that that looked itself very appetizing. But today, the children go to theaters with the idea of having caramelized popcorn or dips, avocado dips with tortillas,
See, because
and
your
all these
theaters
things.
don't allow anything outside nowadays,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Our bags are checked. Are we carrying any eatables? So,
Yes,
like I
yes,
told, it is money making business. They know that watching
absolutely,
movie, you want to
absolutely,
munch on something. So you cannot
yes,
take
yes.
anything from home. So that healthy food is
Hmm.
out of question. You
Yes,
have to
yes.
take what
And
they are selling over
if
there,
they,
and at what price they
yeah,
are selling over there.
yeah, and if they don't eat there, they will go out and eat in a restaurant in the mall.
True.
So, which is
Yes.
why all these little restaurants have opened in the mall, which are also fast food. There also
Yes.
you don't see anything healthy. There'll be one South Indian, restaurant which will have idli and
Right.
dosha, but others will all have again the same fatty, sugary foods.
And for children, see, that becomes more attractive
Yes.
because it is their peers, their friends are also having that.
Mm,
Okay, on television also more advertisement, and when they show the appetizing food, it is that food,
mm.
right? So the child is getting attracted towards that. So if there, like you're saying, there is a South Indian joint and there is a burger joint, you will see more rush in the burger joint
Yes. Yes.
because the child wants to go over there,
Yeah. Absolutely.
wants to be part of the group also. That even I had this,
Yeah.
when the child
Yeah.
goes to school,
Mm,
will tell that, oh, I had this. When you are
mm,
telling I had idli, nobody is going to get impressed with you, right? When you're telling I had a burger, even amongst the children,
mm.
he has something to say.
Yeah.
And that is where again the parents role comes,
Mm,
where you
mm,
tell the child that this is,
mm.
there is nothing, that this is something of a, high caliber or low caliber, or to show off. That has to come into the parents also.
Yeah.
That
And
awareness also has to come.
yeah, and also many parents, face another problem in their homes when they prepare only vegetables. The children complain that is there no non-veg today, no chicken, no fish, no meat. So they feel that see, vegetables are the last resort.
Hmm.
When it comes to food, and because they haven't, mothers have not prepared or fathers have not prepared, they don't have this, and they see it more as an important ingredient rather than vegetables, which should be encouraged because vegetables are all about fiber.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it is us parents, who have to plan out a proper meal with our busy schedules. If we do proper planning, we can give our child a nutritious food,
Mm.
you know. But
So
that
are
awareness,
we?
that
So
planning
are we
has to come on,
responsible? Yeah. Are we responsible for our children's ill health in
of
future?
course,
In future.
of course, we are. Because if we change, automatically the child is going to follow us, now, what we are saying, what we are doing. And if we are taking shortcuts because of our hectic schedules, the child is going to follow that. So yes, we are responsible for it.
Mm,
Definitely we are responsible,
mm.
as
Because see, as you grow older,
collectively,
you
but
get
first as
yeah.
parents.
Yeah, as you grow older you will get diabetes too, and then after that you can, if you still continue to ignore it, then you will have gangrene and so many other problems that they
Yes, yes.
face,
Even
isn't it?
heart issues,
Yes.
young boys and girls who are only 16, 17, they have got high bad cholesterol
Yeah.
because of the eating habits.
Hmm. So I,
So
I I would still feel that it is up to the, I'm not saying that it's only the parents duty. It's also a very important factor that the government and the schools work in tandem with the
Yes.
parents to ensure that not only do they teach them these values, but also ensure that, see, whatever canteens they have are forced to sell only nutritious
Yes.
food.
Absolutely.
Anything that's packaged or anything that is tinned, or it should not be sold. So this is something, because see, for cigarettes you make such a a big hue and cry, or for
Right.
alcohol, but you don't do it for obesity.
Sugar.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sugar or for fats. You do not care
True.
about obesity, because that doesn't seem to be your criteria at all, because of encouraging people to make money, industrialists to make money.
Yes.
They all keep quiet about it. But every time
Right.
a new chip brand is launched, it means so many children are going to become
Yes.
addicts to that.
Right.
Yeah,
See, and also we, till the government doesn't do anything, it is our duty. It is our
yeah,
child. You
yes.
know. So by the time the government does something, as collective, we force them to do something. But till then, it is our responsibility and the school's responsibility.
Yeah,
Even if the school is not giving them, food over there, they can always say, "Okay, you should only carry nutritious food. Your child. We will not allow your child to carry packets of chips and packets of this. Whatever food you're giving your child, it should be nutritious."
yeah.
So the school, if from the beginning, when the child is in kg and first standard, and the teacher checks their tiffin boxes, what have they got, the parents will also see to it that, oh, otherwise my child gets scoldings in the school. So the first responsibility is ours, and yes, definitely the government and everybody has to work together,
Mm.
because in the end it is the health of the nation.
Yes.
What kind of
So it is
adults are
a,
we bringing
yeah,
up?
it's something very, very important, because see, we seem
Yes.
to ignore that, and we don't need, we don't give it a second thought. But every day we are seeing children eating this, eating that. We find that, see, it's growing, bigger and bigger. It's becoming absolutely scary.
Right.
In some
And
of the
also,
schools,
for the children, there are so many then psychological issues. Like you
yes,
told, such children are fall very easy, are very,
yeah,
they are the victims of
yeah,
getting bullied in the school.
yeah,
People make fun of them.
yes,
So there is so much of psychological trauma also for the child.
yeah,
Apart from physical health, even the
yeah.
psychological health is getting deteriorated day by day. And then what kind of adults are we going to, have?
In
An
these
adult who is psychologically and physically damaged, then where is the nation going?
in some of these schools, I've seen them package sausages, sandwiches with sausages. All these have preservatives, and these are not good.
Right.
Cutlets and puffs. See, if you're making a puff, actually, if you're a cook, you'll realize that when you make a puff, the kind of fat that is put into it, whether it's butter or whether it's oil, to make those layers, and
Hmm.
all that is being consumed by you, because you're not in the making process. Children don't know what goes into it. Okay, and then all the ghee and everything that goes into it, and then you have your muffins and your everything that is full of sugar, fat,
And maida,
meat.
which is again
Yes,
unhealthy.
yes, preservatives, all these things. In these Polynesian islands, they were saying that it's a very sad thing that a lot of the adults are actually bearing the younger generation, because the younger generation are dying because of heart attack, all these problems, and this is only because of their diets.
Right.
So this is something that India has to take very, very they have to take it into consideration, and schools have to be strict. They just cannot say, I want to prepare him to be a doctor or an IAS or this thing, because that
Hmm.
is only later. By the time,
Yes.
if the child survives
The
all
child
this,
should be healthy physically
yes,
and
to survive
emotionally.
all this, yes, because
Yes.
even if you go for an exam, if you're not eaten well, okay, you didn't have your breakfast, you go to the school and you start writing your exam, you feel sick, you feel like throwing up. Instead,
Right.
if you have a healthy breakfast and you go for your exams, not only are you physically fit, but you're also mentally fit to write the exam well. So these are things that have to be educated through various
Yes.
sources. I mean, I find this really very, very few people are talking about it, Radiji, and
Because
that's
people are not understanding the seriousness of it.
yes,
See, it
yes.
till it doesn't, blow in your face, you don't understand the seriousness of it.
Yes, yes. And then another very huge issue is that children are losing their teeth, because see, they are eating so much, so many sweets and sugar, laden things, that after a certain stage their teeth can't take it. And there are so many operations where children, their teeth are being removed.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
It's a terrible. It's like a, something that people are not. It's like a bomb that's going to burst. But people are not taking any seriousness.
Not giving
Yeah.
it a serious thought.
Yes.
And that is where, we as parents have to, take that initiative,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
is our children, it is first
Mm,
our responsibility.
yeah.
So
Mm,
change ourselves, give our kids that, that time, that love, that care, the food, so that your child, is following a proper disciplined lifestyle.
yes. Yes. And also
Very
they should
important.
have some physical work that they should do, as in games or play, or
Right.
even if you have a treadmill at home, ensure that they walk. So that, see, unless they burn calories, they're not going to lose weight. So if a
Right.
child is heavy or obese, it is your
Hmm.
duty as a mother or a father to ensure that the child has respect for himself or herself, by trying to make them reduce their weight,
Yes,
and
and
without
instead of,
saying anything
putting
negative.
down the child,
Yes.
what happens with such children is, okay, everybody then tries to, put them down more
Yes.
because of
Yes.
their weight.
Yes.
Instead, they need somebody who is encouraging. That
Yes.
again, a parents have to play a very important role, where they are not putting the child down, they are
Yeah.
encouraging the child, helping the child to overcome it.
Mm,
Now if the child is obese, help the child to overcome it,
yeah.
because the more emotional trauma you give the child, the more the child is going to do emotional overeating. Will be
Yes.
there in that vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So you need to be more, see, generally what happens is, kids who are very oversensitive now, they become obese
Yeah.
because their needs are not met. They don't know where to take that out, so everything is going down internally, whether it is
Yes.
your insecurity, your fear, your sadness, your anger. Everything is taken down inwards, and that is why the fat builds up in the body. This
Yeah.
I'm telling from metaphysical point of view.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm,
So what happens is, the proper let out to emotions is very important.
yeah.
So that is where the parents can sit with the child, give them some kind of art therapy,
Yes.
that draw out what you're
Mm,
feeling, because in
mm,
art a lot of your emotions come out. So what is the child feeling, some let out for emotions, that also
mm,
helps in
yeah.
reducing the weight.
Yeah.
Apart from all this, yes, exercise, diet, that is all we all
Mm,
know and we all follow that. But apart from
mm.
that, how do we connect with the child
Psychologically.
emotionally and let the child,
Yes.
yes,
Absolutely.
release the emotions that are, held down?
Yeah.
Because all the fat in the body is a sign that somewhere you're feeling insecure.
Yes.
When you're feeling insecure,
Yeah.
your body deposits more fat as a mode of protection.
Absolutely.
So the moment we are dealing with that side, that emotional side, it starts affecting, we see the results. So
Yeah.
it has to be a combined thing. That is why I'm telling, spending time with the child is very important,
Very
where
important.
the child can share the day's activities with you.
Yeah.
What happened in the school today, teacher told this friend told this, where he finds a safe space. He knows
True.
that this is my safe space, this is my person with whom I can share everything, this is the person from whom I get love. Not like that, oh, I am very busy now, don't come, because the mother is always already overstressed. She has to cook also, she's working from home also, and the child is coming and telling something. Just take out those 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just be with the child when the child wants to share something with you.
Yeah. And also,
Okay,
viewers,
yes.
if you feel, you want to connect with Ratiji, see, because Ratiji has, she does a lot of help, for such cases, and she works with people on how to, get over, these kind of problems. So, in case you would like to connect with Ratiji, I can always give you her contact number, and the way she handles, cases is beautiful. So that's also something that you could reach out to her. She's, these are things that you need to solve, and please do not put it in the back burner, because the children are your own, and you need to
Right.
make sure that they are healthy human beings with healthy minds. So,
Right.
with that, I
Absolutely.
thank you so much,
Thank
Ratiji,
you.
and we'll catch you in another session with another topic. Good night, and
Good
please
night.
join us. We're celebrating our channel's third birthday, and that's from 8 o'clock. So we will give you the link. So please
Sure.
join us, Ratiji. You please do, and viewers, please join us at 8 o'clock. And give us your messages. Thank you so much, and good night.
Thank you. Lots of love and light to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.